In today's episode, I want to talk about a sentiment that I have heard over and over in creative circles amongst people I've worked with, whether it's in the writer's room or in coaching or in a workshop. And it is the sentiment that I am behind. I can't tell you how many times I've heard this sentiment from other writers, other creatives who just feel like they're not where they would like to be in their career. They feel like they haven't made the kind of money that they'd like to make. They just feel like they're supposed to be somewhere else and they're just not there. So I have an issue with the I am behind sentiment, and maybe it's because I'm Haitian, which I will get to in a little bit, but I just don't like it. It may very well be true that some of these people are behind. I'm sure I've believed that I was behind at one point or another, but more and more, I just see it as a detriment to progress. And I've uncovered 4 reasons why I believe the I am behind sentiment is useless and detrimental to your progress. Let's get into them. The number one reason is because, and here is where my Haitianness comes in, is that I think that the I am behind sentiment has an inherent lack of gratitude embedded within it. Now, if you grew up in a Haitian household like I did, then you've probably heard your parents say at one point or another, "ou ingrat," which means you're ungrateful. And here's what I mean by that, is that the majority of the people that I have heard say, I am behind, I'm not as far as I'd like to be, I'm not as successful as I'd like to be, are generally living pretty good lives. They're either working, whether it is in a job that they don't particularly like or they do like. The fact of the matter is that they are gainfully employed. They're usually in pretty good health. They don't have any health worries. They're not in the hospital. They're not restricted physically in any way. They're generally healthy. And another thing is that these people have generally good lives. They generally live in cities that have services where they can go out and have fun. They have enough money to do things that they want. And here's where I'm going with this. And again, it might just be because I'm super Haitian, is that life could just be so much worse. And for the most part, a lot of this belief that I am behind doesn't fully recognize how abundant you are. It doesn't fully recognize everything that you have right now. While you're sitting there thinking about all of the things that you don't have, all the success that you don't have, all the money that you don't have, you're likely in the middle of tons of abundance that you're probably not even acknowledging. So one of the things that I think is potentially helpful to quieting the I am behind sentiment is taking a moment to look around at your literal house and acknowledging what you do have, how far you have come, where you are right now. And this kind of leads into the second issue I have with the I am behind sentiment, which is that those who I've encountered who are generally in this mindset of I am behind, they don't have a habit of celebrating their wins. And here's what I mean by that. The person who is talking about how behind they feel in their life and career usually has never taken the time to acknowledge how far they've come. I'm sure that person at a certain point wanted to be where they currently are. Look back 5 or 10 years, and they were probably in a completely different life circumstance. And everything that they've done to get them to the point that they are in right now is being disregarded, is not being appreciated. So I think this is one of the things that might be super controversial about my belief with the I am behind sentiment, is that there's just an inherent lack of gratitude. There's an inherent lack of celebrating your wins, whether they're big or small, acknowledging how far you've come, acknowledging where you are right now, what you have right now. Which again brings me into the third thing, is that a lot of the people that I'm hearing express this I am behind sentiment have an inherent lack of worthiness. They attach their worthiness to their productivity and their status. And this is so relatable because most of us do, right? This is how we are taught to exist in most capitalist cultures and structures. I think it's just human nature sometimes, for the most part, to just attach our worthiness to our productivity. But the fact of the matter is that that practice can be really self-destructive. It can be really damaging to our psyche and our self-esteem and our sense of self and our sense of self-worth. So if you notice that you are deriving all of your worthiness from what you are producing, you're deriving all of your worthiness to whether or not others are seeing you as successful, regardless of whether or not they know how much work, how much sweat, how much tears, how many sleepless nights it took to get you to where you are right now. Again, this leads me into my next point about people who live with this belief that they are not far enough, that they're behind. And it is that for these people, the goalpost is always moving. And let me just say right now, but when I say these people, I've been one of these people. I've been one of these people. And the reason why I'm not one of these people anymore, it sounds super racist somehow, like racist against people who feel like they're behind. But anyway, I've been there. I've been the person who doesn't celebrate my wins, the person who doesn't recognize the abundance that I'm sitting in, who doesn't acknowledge the sweat and the tears and the work that I put to get to where I am right now. And it was exhausting. It's part of what contributed to my 4-year burnout, was just the draining nature of never sitting and celebrating yourself, never sitting and recognizing and acknowledging how far you've come, what you've done, and making it enough, at least in the moment. What would that be like if you believe that where you are right now, everything that you've done just for right now is enough? How would that feel? I know I didn't get into the fourth one. Oh, I think I did. The goalpost is always moving. That's the fourth one. That's my fourth issue with the I haven't done enough crew, which I was a part of and now proudly am not a part of anymore. And it's that the goalpost is always moving. When you finally do get to that place that you have been working so hard for and that you thought would make you feel like you've reached, quote unquote. Okay, it's been a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. All of a sudden, now that's not enough. All of a sudden, now you're comparing yourself to somebody who's even further than that. I've had TV writer friends who are sitting in their mansions that they bought with TV writer money or insanely expensive homes that they've bought in their homes, sitting there talking about how they haven't done enough, how they're not far enough. The goalpost is always moving. I've had friends who are literally on SNL or got fired from SNL, which is super normal, by the way. People get fired from that show all the time. And I remember when I first got into that world and first got with friends who were getting on and then, swiftly getting fired from that show, the belief that they had done nothing, they were sure they had done nothing good or worthwhile. They were never successful, even though literally weeks ago they were on SNL. I'm just telling you what I've seen. I'm just telling you that the goalpost moves. It's not about the destination. It's about believing that you are right where you're supposed to be. Because let me tell you something. If you are sitting there believing that you are not far enough, that you're not where you're supposed to be, there is likely something that you need to learn about yourself in this current stage of your life. Whether it's that you need to learn how to create a productivity system that works for you, whether it's that you are not aligned, whether you are potentially pursuing something that doesn't really align with you and what you really want. Maybe you don't even know what you really want. Maybe you are pursuing something that you thought was supposed to be the goal, and now it's just feeling like it's not it. I don't know. But to me, the sentiment of I'm not far enough is usually a clue to me that you have not learned something in this current moment that you need to learn in order to get to the next level. I'm not enough is not the same as being patient with yourself. It's not the same as being proud of yourself and acknowledging the work that you've done to get to where you are right now. It's very different. It's this lack mindset. It is this unworthiness mindset. It's this lack of gratitude mindset of not recognizing what you have, where you are, how far you've come. And it is not going to change with things coming into your life. It's not going to change with meeting those goals, checking off those milestones, checking off those boxes of what you want to happen. Usually what happens, like I said, is the goalpost keeps moving. The thing that you wanted, that you got, is now no longer enough. Now you need more. Now you need a bigger house. Now you need more money. You need a better title. It never ends. It's exhausting. And nothing is going to help more than taking the time right now to be grateful for what you have, grateful for how far you've come, acknowledging your wins, acknowledging everything that you've done, acknowledging how much you fought and how hard you've worked just to be here right now. No matter what you've accomplished, no matter if you haven't checked off all the boxes. Why? Like I said, because you take yourself with you wherever you go. If you have the habit of not celebrating your wins right now, if you have the habit of not acknowledging your abundance right now, you're not going to do it when you get the stuff. You're not going to do it when you get to where you want to go. You have to be the person right now who acknowledges wins, who celebrates wins, who is grateful for your current abundance, who is able to recognize what you have so that you're not sitting there in lack. Your Haitian auntie told you, okay? That's all I have for now. Until next time, get out there, get to work.